Hello? Okay. Hello? Okay, that is the desktop audio. That's the only reason it's doing it. But I can't even listen to it without the desktop audio. It's whatever. The echo is because of the desktop audio. As long as this is in sync, it doesn't matter. Jesus Christ. I like all I did was restart my computer. I like actually don't understand. Bro, I broadcasted for like 4 hours with the audio out of sync, and all I had to do was restart my computer. It's actually the dumbest thing in the world. Okay. Do for do. Yeah, what comes out after Carvana? This trainer's not even hard. I don't even know why I'm like... spending so much time looking at it. It's drowsy? Are you serious? Damn, bro. Yeah, he has brick, that's why. Yeah. Well, I one shot if I go to 25. Should I just go to 25? Yeah, I don't know if I should. Okay. Ah, God damn. I don't exactly have answers here, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I guess I could just use Donphan, sure. Oh, Donphan outspeeds an Okos. Cool. Donphan probably baits like Marshtomp. Yeah. Sneasel has Surf. which is why we just use Hariyama on it. Well, actually, it's on sand. I think it's like accuracy drop or something, but I'll just click Vital Throw. Wait, he's never going to click Secret Power. I don't know why I'm saying that. I probably need it more for this. I don't really know who else is killing Sneasel, though. Oh, maybe Ammonite. Yeah, Ammonite. Boom. And then, yeah. Bite. Oh my god, the focus. Get out of here. Let me just make sure that Gurmao kills all these guys. Obviously, he kills Wooper. Yeah, it's because all of them are unevolved. Right up, left. Down, left, up. Right. Down, left, up. What's it called? So, because I, Fuck, what am I saying? um. Oh God. I'm so tired. Fuck. I also need to poop. Fuck. Ugh. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Is it better for encounter routing later? What stuff do you route if you get Blastoise? Like, does Blastoise help with routing outside of what's it called? Little Root Town? I just don't know. Okay. What am I doing? Oh, XP, sure, yeah. What the fuck is going on outside? I feel like Gyarados does nothing, right? In this little section. Oh, I should probably name the guys. That would be good. Donphan has to be named Locked In, I think.
you have to have consciousness, and not just have consciousness. You can have it taken away from you and it come back to it, but that is okay. But if the child hasn't developed yet, then that's okay. That's your line.
And Destiny,
that
do you want to
slippery
answer the
slope.
question, just when does life begin?
When
If
does
you-
life begin, or when
Yeah.
does it become a person?
When does human life begin, Destiny?
Whatever your sense of the
the
question is.
personhood thing that I'm looking at?
No, let's
when
talk
it-
about science for a second. When does human life begin? I answer the question, you answer it.
If you're talking about like when does a unique genetic code happen, it's
Yeah.
right at the union. It's right at the moment of conception.
When two parts become a whole.
Correct.
Excellent.
Finally, we agree on something.
That's
when human life
that's a-
comes into
hold on.
existence.
Yeah, that's called a scientific fact.
That's what we've been
Wonderful.
saying. until
I
right
understand.
now.
Let me catch you
Well,
up
there
to
are
the
a lot of pro-abortion
conversation.
people who don't agree
Sure,
with
I
that,
understand. Let me catch you up to the
interestingly,
conversation. We're not having a scientific discussion on when genomes are formed. We're having a moral philosophy discussion on when does something get the protections of being a person.
Correct. And
Right?
our position is simple. And what Kristen was saying earlier is that throughout human history, there have been many times when groups of humans, where groups of humans were considered non-persons, right?
I don't
and
know
you're,
what this
you're
Can
certainly,
am I
well,
gonna
you're
get to ask
certainly,
it?
you're certainly
Oh,
familiar
yeah.
with this, Destiny, and I know Kristen
gonna
is.
go
but
back to this
for
question.
example, under the Rwandan genocide or with slavery in our
Yeah,
country,
I understand.
the
That's-
Holocaust,
that's the
there,
next step.
there are groups of people who were seen as who were
It was
humans.
Roe v. Wade, KCV, Planned Parenthood, and
Who
then I think
were-
it was apartheid in
Just to
South
finish,
Africa.
there
No,
were
actually, I think
human
Roe versus Wade came from that.
There were
I think,
human
oh,
beings.
might have been.
There
Because they were
hum-
inspired by the Nazis, right?
Just
They
to
were
clarify,
like-
there were human
uh-huh.
beings that were seen as non-persons,
True.
and that opened the door to huge injustices.
Okay.
And similarly today, we see humans in the womb at this arbitrary line, and you're one among many. I mean, other people say, well, right before birth is when they become human, or viability is when they become human,
Haven't
or
made
heartbeat
either
is
of
when
those
they become
arguments.
human.
That's good,
There's
yeah.
there's a lot of
Uh-huh.
different
I
variations
think
because
those are all really bad arguments.
Hold on, just let her finish.
well,
just let her
I
finish.
agree,
So
and I
sorry.
think
Oh
consciousness
my
is a
God.
terrible argument too,
think it's a
because you
great
can't
argument.
because you can't
That
assign
was
opinion.
the
so fucking
development of
scary.
human.
That was so fucking scary. Wait, what the fuck? Oh my god. I think I usually just kill all of those with Grovile. Oh my god. I was about to have a heart attack. Thank god I'm so over leveled. Holy shit. Why are these trainers such low levels, dude? What the fuck? I can't believe Drew made a guide for the beach trainers as if this is like a difficult part of the game. Holy shit, that was so scary. Oh my god. Okay, back to abortion.
And that's
Yeah.
why I'm representing
And your
it.
opinion's wrong.
And back to the toddler and the adolescent, because you kind of, you had a clever move there, Destiny. You were saying, well, an adolescent has rights, like signing a contract that a toddler doesn't have. So therefore, I think your next conclusion of that was, if you're preborn in the womb
I could
before
also tell you
consciousness.
my conclusion. You don't have to guess because I'm
Well,
here.
okay. I mean, feel free to keep on. But it was an interesting position, because what I was
Arena,
trying to
arena.
get to in that conversation before I got a little bit derailed there is, do you think that your age or your development as a human means you are more or less entitled to equal protection under law for basic human rights, including the right to not be killed?
If that development, when you say including the rights to not be killed,
That fundamental right to life. Let's just talk
your
about only that
intuition-
right.
your
Only that
intuition
right.
pumping. So
Yeah, I don't know about intuition pumping. Let's just isolate it and just say just the right to not be killed. The right to not be the victim of homicide.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on what kind of deaths we're talking about. So here's a question, for instance. A lot of women have miscarriages, like without even knowing in the first
True.
few
I've
weeks of
had
getting
one.
pregnant. Do you think that those embryos should be rushed to
Mud
the
slab
hospital?
is whatever.
Well, if the embryo is dead, no. I mean,
Okay,
I think,
but
I
do you
it-
think that like any woman, do you think we should start locking every single woman that has sex into some sort of facility to check for early miscarriages like that? Because if it is true, wouldn't that be the equivalent of a woman leaving a child starving to death on their floor?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
How dare you?
Hold on, can you answer
First
the
of all,
question
no,
before
no,
moral
I
grandstands?
got no.
How
Because
dare
what you're-
you?
Because what you're talking about right now is essentially the real genocide of children is
Wait, hold on. What did he say?
check for early miscarriages like that. Because if it is true, wouldn't that be the equivalent of a woman leaving miscarriages, like without even knowing in the first
True.
few
I've
weeks of
had
getting
one.
pregnant? Do you think that those embryos should be rushed to the hospital?
Well, if the embryo is dead, no. I mean,
Okay,
I
but
think
do you think that like any woman, do you think we should start locking every single woman that has sex into some sort of facility to check for early miscarriages like that? Because if it is true, wouldn't that be the equivalent of a woman leaving a child starving to death on their floor?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
How dare you?
Hold on, can you answer
First
the
of
question
all,
before
no,
moral
I got
grandstands?
no.
How
Because
dare
what
you?
Because what you're talking about right now is essentially the real genocide of children is all the children being miscarried right now in the first few weeks of
a
development. That's horrible.
miscarriage
Yeah.
to not feeding my child.
Why? It should be the same thing.
No. It's not.
Why is it not?
Well, you obviously.
It's not because.
Oh my gosh.
It's not because.
Well, hold on, you're telling
Every
me,
woman
hold
in
on,
America
if you want to
who's
extend
just
human
had a
protections
has had a
all the
miscarriage,
way
it's
to
very
the
angry.
very
Hold on,
beginning,
one
the
at a
very
time,
moment
one
of
at a time,
conception,
please.
if you want to go all the way to the moment of conception, then that means that a woman who just whatever kind of miscarries in the first, second, or third week and doesn't realize it, that is the same as like, oops,
Is
somebody
CDOT
fell
dark
downstairs
type?
and like died.
No,
That
it's
is
not the same.
No, it's
absolutely not
grass.
the same. Do you understand science and what happens in a miscarriage?
Tell me.
An unattended miscarriage?
Unattended.
Tell
That's why I say
me.
we should lock them up after they have sex.
I don't think
Destiny.
your argument doesn't make any sense.
My argument makes perfect
No,
sense.
no,
if you
it's actually
truly
lock a
believe,
woman up
It's
and
I'm gonna
actually
say,
very
I'll restate my
heinous.
argument.
Might be more
I'll
likely
restate
to
my argument.
miscarry
I
because of
understand
the
it's really,
stress.
I know it
Which
hurts
is why I
because
don't
it
think we
obviously
should jail
demonstrates
pregnant
another
women,
huge
quite
flaw.
frankly.
If you
Can I-
believe
can I
that the
finish?
moment
Can I-
of,
can
no,
I-
you can't right now. If you believe that at the moment of conception you've created a unique human being, then that means that right now you should be in tears because at every moment women that are engaged, in fact,
Yes.
you could probably make the argument that sex without the intention of immediately going to a hospital is probably immoral because you're engaging in some activity that might result in the death of a child
think
I'm
in
sorry,
2 or
I
3 or
don't
4
think-
weeks
wait.
because you don't know if you're going to have a
You don't
miscarriage.
think women
Every
can
single
gestate
time,
a human
every single
being
time a
and
woman has sex,
be
she should
Guys, one
probably
at
be
a
rushed
time,
to a
please,
hospital
please, please, one at a
immediately
time.
after
One
just
at a
to
time,
make
one
sure
at a time,
that whatever
please.
fetus might be there is absolutely
No,
protected.
I don't
Destiny,
think.
let me answer your question.
That
I
is
don't-
misogyny because what
Hold
you're
on.
saying is
I'm back at my
women cannot
misogynistic energy, yeah.
gestate human
Destiny loves
beings
this
in the
hypothetical.
womb
Yeah.
and
Let me
be
answer.
productive citizens of our society.
They should.
That's exactly that is
So
misogyny,
Destiny,
sir.
I don't
That's
know
exactly what.
Hold on,
I-
let's let Lila
Okay,
go.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know. I
Lila.
think your question might
Okay, inform me,
because
please.
because if a woman gets pregnant,
I love how happy he is.
is not going to magically prevent a miscarriage that she may or may not have.
It's so
Miscarriages-
fucking
miscarriages happen
funny.
for a lot of different reasons, and I would argue, especially for imprisonment as an example, imprisoning a woman who's pregnant, which I'm opposed to, by the way, that additional stress could add to the miscarriage. So if you
Right.
grabbed a woman after she had sex and might be pregnant and dragged her off to a hospital, that might actually induce stress in her. And
Yeah, but there's
create a
also
miscarriage.
potentially
So I'm
things,
not
there's
sure
behaviors a woman
where
can
you're
engage
going
in that
with
would increase the risk of miscarriage, especially who doesn't know she's pregnant, right? Maybe a woman drinks.
Say that one more time.
There might
Destiny.
be behaviors that a woman
Tuber-
could engage
yeah,
in if
tuber
she
healing.
is
Which is
pregnant
why-
that would increase the
which
risk
is
of
why-
pregnant.
which is
However,
why
that means that
Destiny-
you could have sex with a
Destiny.
condom and with birth control, and you might actually
Destiny.
get pregnant. So if
That's
a woman
right,
is
you
having
can.
sex
Wow,
and she
Harry,
starts
I'm
drinking or whatever, she could
That's
be
right.
murdering a child right
Takes
then
them
and there.
all.
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
That's why we have recommendations, from the FDA that women who are pregnant should not drink alcohol.
No. You
That's
don't even know
why-
if you're pregnant
But see,
yet, though.
that's
That's
the,
the whole,
that, wait
that's
a
the whole
minute,
deal.
excuse me.
That's different.
That's the difference between direct and indirect actions, though, right?
That's how, what is, it
So-
doesn't get much more direct than doing
No,
things to
if
your
a
body
woman
that
is
harms your
pregnant
child.
and does not know she's pregnant, say she just conceived and
Uh-huh.
she goes and celebrates her 20th birthday at a bar, 21st birthday at a bar, and she drinks a whole bunch, and she miscarries, no one would say
You murdered your child.
you murdered your child.
Of course
no one
you
would
did.
say that. That's not that was not the intent.
It doesn't matter what the
There's
intent
a
is. You think the
whole
kid cares what the
difference
intent
between
is?
the
You've murdered a
intent.
child.
Abortion. What is abortion? Abortion is the direct, intentional
Wait,
killing of an
Do you
innocent
think
human
from the perspective of the fetus, do you think it cares if
That
it was
is
an
a
accident or intentional, that it was...
action. We're arguing about the morality of abortion, which you've informed me like 5 times because you don't want to talk about science.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that if you think that
Abortion
from the
is
moment
a
of
direct-
conception...
I will say, I'll give you this,
Intentional
Destiny. If you're having sex, and this is actually goes to a related.
I gotta say, I think it's just so fucking stupid, the whole, like, science argument. Like, it's just like, you don't want to argue science. It's just like, yeah, I think the whole argument is, like, so fucking brain dead and stupid if you just, like, leave it at that. Like, it's, like, scientific fucking, oh, it's human DNA. Like, it's science. I don't know, it just doesn't actually make any sense to, like, leave it at that, to me. No, don't hypnosis, bro. Leave me alone. Okay. Yeah, like conservatives care about science when it benefits them. Or when it seems to benefit them.
conversation, but that's very important. I think,
topic is you
anyways,
guys didn't answer any of my other
is
questions.
sexual
I have a
ethics.
question, actually. I have
And
a
I
question.
think your
after
question
Lila
kind of gets
goes
into
here.
the sexual ethics world,
Can-
which I think
Yeah.
is important. So we could go there. 'cause
Sure.
If you're
I
having
do have-
Well,
Am I
heterosexual
allowed to,
sex,
am I allowed to ask any of my questions because none of them got answered?
Well, I would
Do you want to
argue.
reiterate them?
Sure, I had like 3 really basic
Can I
ones.
answer his little hypothetical though,
Yeah,
really
answer it.
quick? Okay.
Sure.
About the mass genocide of
Well,
accidental
no, it
babies.
was more about, if you're having sex,
It's like
should you be
carrying
heavily
on.
drinking afterwards? I think was where you were going with that.
Mhm.
And I would say, No, you shouldn't actually. I don't think, and this is part of our society's problem today, post-sexual revolution, is we have separated sex from procreation and from relationship.
Okay.
And because of that, we have the abortion rate of 2,500 children killed every day by abortion. Because of that, we have mass unhappiness. We have breakdown among male-female relationships. People actually are having less sex in many ways than before. Pornography use is spiking, and it's all because we've forgotten what sex is designed for, which is intimacy and new life. So
Okay.
I would be against a culture, and I am against acts where people are just being promiscuous, having sex, not
Literally
really caring.
none of that has
and then,
anything to do with what I said, because everything that I described happened could literally happen within a marriage where a woman gets
Well-
pregnant, doesn't realize
well-
it, has some
Hold
alcohol.
on,
well,
just let
and
him
well
finish.
then I'll
Let-
answer
let
to
Tess-
that too.
hold on, just let-
Actually, let me answer that too, because I'm
I'm
married.
just saying that nothing what I gave
Well,
had anything to do with the
Okay,
sex
well
culture
then,
or anything else, yeah.
thank you for the clarification.
Okay.
You know, I can relate to your question. I'm married. We hope to have another baby, and yes, when I know if I might be fertile, I might be getting pregnant soon. Yeah, I'm not going to be drinking
drunk.
gin and tonics because I might be getting pregnant, and I want to have my body be as hospitable as possible for that baby. And I think that would be the prudent thing to do. And that's another reason, if as a woman and you're having
We weren't
sex,
talking
you might
about
get
what was
pregnant
prudent or
to
not.
be.
We were talking about like moral rights or wrongs. But
Well, I think it would be morally irresponsible, yes, to be getting drunk when you may be getting pregnant, yes.
on the same
Because
level as like
creating-
murdering a child, right?
Creating a new human being is a
there's a
logical
bit of
Hold on,
outcome
just one
of
microphone at a time,
heterosexual
please.
sex. And so that's what Lila is saying, is that if you're engaging in heterosexual sex,
Uh-huh.
you have to be aware that one of the very
You
biological outcomes
can't-
of that behavior, of that choice you've made, is creating
No,
new
you can't
control
get
over
the
human life.
hidden power.
So therefore, you have consented to the fact that
Oh,
your
there's like a
new
person who
being
comes
may
right
come
here,
into
I think.
existence by engaging in that act knowingly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Destiny, did you have more?
I
know
said
you
it
had
very
a couple
slow
questions.
and
Very,
very
very
clear.
simple questions.
Did
Do
you
we
have-
agree
okay.
that is puberty a real thing?
Absolutely, puberty is a real thing.
Okay. When does it happen?
It's a range.
Oh, hold on.
I know where he's going. I know he's
can
where
I,
he's going
Can I
with
just
it.
make a
Go ahead,
comment here?
Lila.
But that's
There is-
fundamentally
hold on,
different
there's
between.
a- hold on, let
let's
me just
let
there's
Lila
a-
go.
there's
Can I
an
answer this?
absolutely there's
Can I answer this? My question.
sure. If you-
Lila, like, I love you, but you don't let me answer any questions.
Yeah,
All
Lila.
right,
Jesus.
So, I'm just
rude.
gonna, like,
You're being
move
misogynistic.
I mean, I
over.
think it's been pretty.
I
No.
think-
I think they're
Alright,
both
Kristen, we
misogynistic.
We
Okay.
need hand signals. No, I understand what the question was. You brought this up earlier about puberty. Absolutely, puberty is a real thing. I have two preteens, and absolutely it onsets at different ages based on the environment, based on a child's experiences or stress that the child may be going through, or the genetic conditions that a child may have. But that's not an equivalent for saying, well, we don't know when human life begins, when we know it actually begins, and we've already proven as a scientific fact begins at the moment of conception. Therefore, we
What are we
kill
naming these
a
guys?
human being.
Okay. So
It
all
is
I'm
not
trying
the
to
same.
illustrate to you is that
Can I
you
answer
believe
now?
in.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
Lila, go
All right,
ahead,
add in
and
what
then
I
we'll
did
have you
too.
come in. We'll have you come in. Go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Lila. Go
Kristen.
ahead.
So I would just say, yes, there is a sliding time frame from when someone might undergo puberty. But if you are basing a decision about whether or not you can kill an innocent prepubescent or pubescent child, then I would say your standard of puberty shouldn't matter. Similarly to your standard, your unjust standard of consciousness to demand that a baby that's not fully developed yet has to be developed in order to be protected. And I think that's age discrimination.
Gotcha. Okay. So all I'm trying to point out is
Do you agree? You
we-
are age discriminatory, by the way. Do you agree? 'Cause
I
you
am
said
age.
that.
Do you think? Are you age discriminatory?
So you're age discriminatory about when human beings should have
I'm
the
age
right to
discriminatory
live.
about a lot of different things.
So you believe that you are age discriminatory about
I'm
when human beings.
developmentally discriminatory.
Typically, typically, developmental discrimination is for the protection of the less developed person. It's
Or it
not
could be
for the
for the
manipulation.
protection of a mother that doesn't want to have a pregnancy
It's
too.
not
There
for
is
the,
another
it's
person
not
in the
for
equation
the
here, you know.
manipulation and the
There
harm
absolutely is
of
another.
the less
Manipulation or
developed
harm of the
person.
mother who's being forced to be a breeding factory for a child.
Do you know what an abortion
I can
is?
morally loathe
Wait,
this just the other way if you want. If you want to play that game, I can do that.
Do
all
you
day.
know
I
what
think your
happens
argument
when-
actually is in consciousness. I think you are making a bodily autonomy argument.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's the
You
dumbest argument in the
absolutely
world.
are because you said the mother has a pregnancy. No, the mother.
No, I'm just trying to show
Mother
you that
has a
if you
human
want to
being
morally loathe things like
developing within her.
murder of a child, well, then I'm going to say, well, forcing a
Well,
mom
you
to be a
didn't agree
breeding
with
machine.
me about my analogy about.
I mean, she's
artificial
correct,
wombs.
yeah,
But I
it
didn't
doesn't-
agree. I rejected it because
Say
it was
that,
dumb.
but-
Because viability has no impact whatsoever on my feelings and whether or not a fetus is endowed
But
with
I
rights
think
for human life or not.
Wait, how do they even get to this
you're
part?
Sort of talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, about when human beings should have
I'm
the right to
discriminatory
live.
about a lot of different things.
So you believe that
Why is he saying it's age discrimination? That doesn't make sense.
you are age discriminatory about
I'm
when human beings.
developmentally discriminatory.
Typically,
Developmentally.
typically, developmental discrimination is for the protection of the less developed person. It's
Or it
not
could
for
be
the
for the
manipulation.
protection of a mother that doesn't want to have a pregnancy
It's
too.
not
There
for
is
the,
another
it's
person
not
in the
for
equation
the
here, you know.
manipulation and the
There
harm
absolutely is
of the less
Manipulation or
developed
harm of
person.
the mother who's being forced to be a breeding.
Oh, okay, I
Do you
understand.
know what an
Actually,
abortion
I
is?
can morally loathe
Wait,
this just the other way if you want. If you want to play that game, I can do that.
Do
all
you
day.
know
I
what
think your
happens
argument
when-
actually isn't consciousness. I think you are making a bodily autonomy argument.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's the
You
dumbest argument in the
absolutely
world.
are because you said the mother has a pregnancy. No, the mother.
No, I'm just trying to show
Mother
you that
has a
there, if you
human
want to
being
morally loathe things like
developing within her.
murder of a child, well, then I'm going to say, well, forcing a
Well,
mom
you
to be a
didn't agree
breeding
with me
machine.
about my analogy about.
No, I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Artificial wombs.
What
either.
I
You
didn't
said
agree, I
abortion-
Fuck, hold on. I need to nickname these dudes. Who the fuck is that guy? What's that famous court case? The glove fits or whatever? Oh, O.J. Simpson. Yeah, we're gonna call him O.J. Simpson. Yeah, I think they're tearing up the carpet or whatever. Is that how you spell googly? Bro. No, you take out the E. I don't even know why I'm naming them in the game. I should just be naming them in the thing. I don't know if it, like, changes the fucking... What's it called? It has, like, the ID. I think whenever you change the, I learned that from Madman. He was saying that if you change the Pokemon in, like, the save file, it changes, like, the ID of it or something like that. Or it doesn't have one anymore. And I don't want to do that because I want the save file to be, like, as legit as possible. Damn, I don't know what to name this guy. Dude, I do want to name him Pirate. Pirate's just like such a good name. Bus driver. Bus driver. I'm gonna name Onyx Centipede. How do you spell centipede? Centipede's too long, but that's fun. Oh no. What are those, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what a build this guy has. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I really don't know what the fuck to name him. Okay. Dude, I love Night Shift so much. Dude, I get to deal with the construction of the people outside, like changing the carpets and painting the walls and all sorts of shit. Like, probably like once a month that'll happen. And then like every single day I get the pleasure of listening to children run up and down all around their fucking apartment above me. The upstairs neighbors in apartments is one of the greatest things ever invented. And so are children. I love children. Okay, let's see. What the fuck? Why hasn't Samu answered my DM yet? He posted an EK chat, but he won't answer my DM. What an asshole. Okay. I just forget what the bait order is. Awkward Grunt 1. The second guy baits a Staryu, which we destroy. What about at 23? Yep. That's Croc. Okay, Hariyama kills Vigoroth. Donphan kills Grimer. Who kills Lombre? Can I just use my cargo? Like, kind of? No, he has Mega Drain. What the fuck are you talking about here? So, yeah, I'll just use my cargo. It's fine. Load the script. Okay. Wait, why did it use synthesis turn 1? What the fuck? Beautiful. Oh, hey. What's up? Bam, bam, bam. Don't. I'm streaming. Don't say the N word. I'm just saying. I should mute my fucking mic.
Yeah, you don't know what those rowdy construction workers
No, it's $50, but it's I'm getting -15 because I decided to choose an encounter,
Oh wow, cringe.
and I asked the guy if I could.
Yeah, and he's like, shave off $15. We got a deal.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna be like, oh, did I say 15? I meant to say 50. Sorry, Bucko. You didn't say anybody.
I think only one person can win it though, so even if if I win and nobody else can, it's just funny.
True, yeah.
I don't think anybody else is running it up though. Just because you have to get the Don fan legitimately.
And it has to be a good Don fan.
Well, it has to be good, but that's not even the hard part. The hard part is getting it and then getting good encounters afterwards. Because normally you would just reset for Sunflora or some shit. But now it's you have to get a good fan P and then you have to go get other good encounters.
That does the fucking Sunflora's job at Brawly or whatever. Or is it
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. No, Sunflora sweeps Brawly. It also pretty much can sweep Watson. It does good stuff on Roxanne, but I just mean in general. It's if you get shit
Roxanne
encounters. What?
I said, oh yeah, it does Roxanne good.
Yeah, it's okay. Then you could technically set it up. It's just kind of. I think it's cap because there's Rock Slide Flinch that can easily just ruin you. I'm pretty sure you just died at 2 Rock Slides.
But growth.
No, growth is good.
Growth, the only 7 move in the game.
True. Did you get an email from them or something?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, I'm a promotion slut. I literally have my email set up so that I just see promotions that I get from things I already use.
Amazing.
Work was interesting. So the reason that I stayed so long is there's a hard drive missing, and it's the most retarded shit because it doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not the person who validated anything. I'm not the person
rejected
What-
it because I said it was dumb because viability has no impact whatsoever on my feelings on whether or not a fetus is endowed
But
with
I
rights
think
for human life or not.
Kristen
Yeah.
Who the fuck
I'm
are
gonna
they?
unmute
Why
the
are they
mic.
there then?
These I think are like reoccurring guests on the whatever podcast.
Interesting.
But the you know the Brian guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's like interrupted and said that what's it called? No, he like interrupted at one point and he was like Destiny was like, no, stop. And then he was trying to like give Destiny breathing room and Destiny was like telling him to not interrupt.
Yeah.
That was funny. Fuck, there was like another thing. But, oh yeah, no. Brian also interrupted and he was like, "Do you want to like clarify that you're like not misogynistic?" And Destiny's like, "No, I am misogynistic. I hate women more and more the more I talk to them." It's just so fucking funny.
That's so good.
But yeah, the fat one she's been like relatively good faith, but she's like called him misogynistic. It's just like been dumb.
True. I gotta say, in the middle of that, I got distracted by the fact that your Makuhita's name is O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, because he's got big gloves.
Yeah, because he's got big gloves.
Dude, look at those hands.
But no, the thing is that the glove didn't fit.
Oh, the
If
glove
it was
fits.
O.J. Simpson, his gloves would not fit.
The gloves
and that's
fit
why you
here.
acquitted.
The gloves fit
Come on,
here.
Harrison, you got the story backwards.
I know what the story is. But yeah, I mean, we have some guys for sure.
Some hymns.
Yeah, we got some hymns. This guy's thick, fat, adamant, which is like insane.
Yeah,
but the
for
IVs,
sure.
the rest of the IVs are kind of.
What's the
Dog.
other ability that you can get aside from thick?
It's Guts, but Guts sucks on slow Pokemon.
I see.
Yeah, and he's like 50 speed or some shit. And then this guy's Jolly, the Gyarados, which is like okay. It's kind of a double-edged sword. But he's 25 special attack, so he probably still like 3 shots Claydol. As long as he does that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, his special attack is his fucking stab, so.
Yeah, you like rarely use it. Gyarados is honestly more of a pivot, and then this guy is like fucking 30 speed, like 29 attack. Like he's
Why is
insane.
he a pivot?
Gyarados is a pivot in this gen because Waterfall isn't physical, so
Oh.
like his stab's just kind of below. But he does get double edge in this game, and he gets flail. Like flail is good for the early game shit, and then like the
Well, yeah, he's pretty good at early game all the time because he's a level 20 Gyarados.
yeah.
Got all the other not hymns around.
But he's just like these are the moves that he gets though. Like
Based.
unless you're clicking flail, you're just like a pivot. Because he does intimidate. It's like the biggest reason he's a pivot. And his typing is insane. But the other hymns are is he him? These two died. And Grimer killed himself on Route 116 or
Based.
whatever, so that was good. We got this guy who's plus special attack nature.
Yeah.
This guy is also plus special attack nature. This guy is plus defense nature.
Wow, what a fucking hymn.
And then this guy's also plus special, like, and shell armor. Like, these are just, like, the most, like, fraudulent
Yeah,
natures
it's
of all
pretty
time.
good. This dude's gonna be fucking, like, I don't think you actually get the $35. You cheated, bro.
I know, that's what I mean. These are, and Sturdy
Have
doesn't
you
even
streamed
matter.
this entire one?
Yeah.
True, based.
Yeah, I mean, I started it tonight.
Oh, have you just been up all night?
Yes.
You and me both, brother. Let's go.
Yeah. I need to, yeah, what's it called? No, because I'm going to my parents' house for, on, like, Saturday, but I have to go earlier in the day because my dad has, like, dinner reservations that night.
Yeah, what are you doing with them?
I mean, we're just eating lunch.
True.
Yeah, I mean, eat lunch, play with dog, go home.
Based.
Basically.
You can make new pictures for the AI photo.
No, we're not gonna.
Dude, those are legitimately some of the best times I've had in years. Just looking at the things that Hunter's been sending us.
He is definitely been making some art, for
Dude,
sure.
The Kyle ones were so good. Like him baking the cakes and everything in the fucking cake land or whatever.
Yeah.
And the
Okay. I was talking to my roommate. Fuck, where even am I? Okay. No, it baits it baits Abra. Which is Thunder Punch. And I can go to Donphan, who I can make sure is pre-slept. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be 27 on this guy. Oh, I can just go to Mag Cargo. Okay, we're good.
Two preteens right now.
So the abortion
Every day
debate.
that puberty is a real thing. And absolutely it onsets at different ages based on the environment, based on a child's experiences or stress that the child may be going through, or the genetic conditions that a child may have. But that's not an equivalent for saying, well, we don't know when human life begins, when we know it actually begins, and we've already proven as a scientific fact begins at the moment of conception, therefore we can kill a human being.
So
It
all
is
I'm
not
trying
the
to
same.
illustrate to you is that
Can
you
I answer
believe
now?
in.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
Lila, go
All right,
ahead,
add in
and
what
then
I
we'll
did
have you
too.
come in. We'll have you come in. Go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Lila.
Kristen.
Go ahead.
So I would just say, yes, there is a sliding time frame from when someone might undergo puberty. But if you are basing a decision about whether or not you can kill an innocent prepubescent or pubescent child, then I would say your standard of puberty shouldn't matter. Similarly to your standard, your unjust standard of consciousness, to demand that a baby that's not fully developed yet has to be developed in order to be protected, and I think that's age discrimination.
Gotcha. Okay. So all I'm trying to point out is
Do you agree you
we've-
are age discriminatory, by the way? Do you agree? 'Cause
I
we've
am
said
age.
that.
Do you think? Are you age discriminatory?
So you're age discriminatory about when human beings should have
I'm age
the right to
discriminatory
live.
about a lot of different things.
So you believe that you are age discriminatory about
I'm
when human beings.
developmentally discriminatory.
Typically,
developmentally.
typically, developmental discrimination is
Uh-huh.
for the protection of the less developed person. It's
Or it
not
could
for
be
the
for the
manipulation.
protection of a mother that doesn't want to have a pregnancy
It's
too.
not
There
for
is
the,
another
it's
person
not
in the
for
equation
the
here, you know.
manipulation and the
There
harm
absolutely is
of the less
Manipulation or
developed
harm of the
person.
mother who's being forced to be a breeding factory for a child.
Do you know what an abortion
I can
is?
morally loathe
Wait,
this just the other way if you want. If you want to play that game, I can do that.
Do
all
you
day.
know,
what
I think your
happens
argument
when-
actually isn't consciousness. I think you are making a bodily autonomy argument.
Yes,
You-
No, I'm not. That's the
you
dumbest argument in the
absolutely
world.
are because you said the mother has a pregnancy. No, the mother.
No, I'm just trying to show
mother
you that
has a
if you
human
want to
being
morally loathe things like
developing within her.
murder of a child, well, then I'm going to say, well, forcing a
Well,
mom
you
to be a
didn't agree
breeding
with
machine.
me about my analogy about artificial wombs.
What
either.
I
You
didn't
said
agree, I
abortion
rejected
wouldn't-
it because I said it was dumb because viability has no impact whatsoever on my feelings on whether or not a fetus is endowed
But
with
I
rights
think
for human life or not.
Kristen is correct in that you are sort of talking out of both sides of your mouth a little
I'm
bit here. because
absolutely
on
not.
the
Right now, I'm
one
struggling to
hand-
talk out of one side of my mouth. because I could get cut off.
on the one hand, Destiny, you're saying that it shouldn't matter whether or not the mother wants the baby or doesn't want the baby if the baby is conscious. And on the other hand, you're saying actually the mother's desire to have or not have that baby, being forced to birth that baby, actually does matter. So that's a little bit of a contradiction.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
not a
if-
contradiction at all. Whether or not somebody wants to have a child or not is not the same as when does the child get moral protections. Those are two fundamentally separate questions.
You're saying you
However,
should not be,
I
you
might,
were
I
saying
might
a
want,
woman
I
should not
might
be
want.
forced to give birth.
I
You were
might
using
want-
that language.
No, well, because you're using the
Yes.
language of like killing a child.
No, you're ending the life of an innocent human
Yeah,
being
that's,
that is
thank
a
you for
child.
illustrating my point. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You're
Well,
absolutely-
if you're gonna
Why are you
morally-
so
Hold on,
offended?
hold on.
Why are you so
Hold on,
offended by
let's-
the word
I'm
child?
not,
Let's use the
offend-
words
I'm not
like
offended
Destiny
because
comes
when
up
you
with.
It's triggering
say
you,
child, it's not
Destiny.
that it's triggering me.
It's absolutely triggering
It's
you because you've said it like 6 times.
because you're begging the
Are
question.
you triggered,
Okay.
Destiny? Confirm or deny?
I
Are
am
you
triggered.
triggered?
Okay.
Okay.
So hold
I
on,
actually,
hold on.
you know what?
The,
I
the
have.
problem is that
Um,
right now the point of our debate, it's kind of like going to a self-defense trial and having the people that you killed being called victims.
Well, hold on,
right?
hold on. You're the one who's advocating for the positive right to kill a child in the womb. That,
Okay.
you're the one advocating for that.
Okay.
We're advocating to say you can't kill a child. So that's it's.
I'm just
it's
trying to
a,
explain why calling it a child is
But
begging
why
the
does that?
question.
Hold
But why
on,
does that bother you?
I'd actually
Why does
like
it
to
bother
It
you?
bothers me because the subject of the debate is whether or not it is a child. So if you call it a child, you're already presupposing the
no,
most
but
difficult
not-
part of the conversation,
it's
which
bother-
is begging
it's
the
bothering.
question.
But I think that's a contradiction too, Destiny, because
not a
it
contradiction.
is because you just said you said that you become a person at consciousness. This
Yeah.
arbitrary line that you've drawn that's
True.
not even
Yeah.
that's not even clear.
Yeah.
And
no,
you're
it's
saying,
very clear.
But
Go
you're,
ahead.
you never
Who
were
hasn't
upset.
named
you
any
never talked about
biologist,
when
by the way.
childhood began. So let's actually talk about that.
When is a
Does
what?
childhood begin at a different time than when personhood begins?
Childhood is whatever you want. Some childhood begins when you see your first Sesame Street episode. I don't know. What does childhood mean?
Okay, when does a child become a child? When is it
Is it
okay
at
to
birth?
call a preborn life a child in your
I don't
view?
know. That's a semantic question I'm not really
So why are you
interested
upset
in.
about us using the word if you don't really
Because
have an
we're not
opinion
just
on it?
having semantic disagreements. We're having like very discrete disagreements on
So
morality
where
over
do
when
you
somebody
disagree
should be.
then? When do you
My
think the
disagreement
life
is
becomes
I
a
don't think that
child?
it becomes a person at
But
conception
you
that's
just said
endowed
you
with
don't
human
like
rights.
us using the word child. When
I
does
don't
the
like
life
you
become
know
a child?
because now you just asked me about childhood and now you're asking child. The reason
I'm
why we're
asking
arguing
when
over
when
the
you start
Sure.
having your childhood, when you start
Okay.
becoming a child.
Let me know
when
when I
is
can
that?
fully answer the question, okay?
Please tell me.
Okay. We're having a conversation right now about when something is endowed with like moral consideration. When
I'm
does
asking
something
you a,
be-
pretty
I-
simple
are
question,
you,
actually.
Are you a liar?
I'm just asking.
I
you a
asked
question.
you to if I could finish. You said I could, and now you cut
Let's-
me off.
let's let
you
Destiny
lied to me.
finish
Okay.
the,
Let me finish the question.
for it.
Don't
Go
lie,
for it.
because you'll lose moral consideration. Okay. All right. No. If the subject of the debate is when does a fetus become a person? Okay. Child is another word for person. So when you say,
Okay, that's
do
what I
you
was trying
think
to
it's
clarify.
Hold on,
okay?
hold on.
Let-
When you
let-
say,
please let
do you think
Destiny
it's
finish.
okay to kill a child?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the answer is no. I don't think it's okay to kill a child. But that's not the
What do you
conversation
call
we're
it
having. The
before it's a
conversation we're
child?
having
Please,
is
just let him
when is
finish.
something considered a child? So that's why I'm obviously going to push when you say you're saying we should kill children
What do
at
you call
2
it?
weeks old. I don't know, a fetus, whatever you want to call it.
But do you know what the Latin word fetus means?
I don't care. I'm not Latin.
It means young one. It's another word for child.
That's great. There are young ones that are puppies. That doesn't
It's a human
have any
child,
bearing
so
on
it's
me.
that's
You're not
actually-
going to
that's a very
etymologically like
interesting
win the
question
debate
for you.
against me.
So just
do you
to
think
clarify,
puppies get consciousness at a certain point?
Not human
just to
consciousness,
clarify,
no.
we're only allowed to call
That would be
a
an interesting
human
question.
life a child at Destiny's arbitrary line of consciousness. Is
What
that
I'm
correct?
saying is that
Because you're very offended when we use this term, so I'm trying to understand when it is in your book correct to use
if
it.
anybody is triggered in this room, it is not me. Okay.
That's good.
So it's funny that you keep using the offended line. I'm used
Okay,
to the you mad
you
bros.
disagree strongly.
No, I don't disagree. You're just
You
like
don't disagree.
presupposing the argument. That's the
It's
issue.
pissing you off when we use the word child. Is what we're saying.
Confirm or deny? Are you
Confirm or
pissed
deny?
off, Destiny?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He
You know what?
doesn't
I
like it.
actually.
Can I, wait, no, hold on.
Well,
It's the same thing as you guys, because I know you guys, and I guess maybe this is just like in your brain, this is how you approach these conversations, but I know you guys get frustrated when people argue with you, and you're like, away from the mom. Oh, so you're trying to make moms
Well,
slaves?
I-
You're turning moms
I
into
would-
baby factories?
yeah.
That would be, if I wanted to engage in the same style of conversation you're engaging in, I would just say that over and over again. Why do you
No,
want to make moms baby
I would-
factories?
I
Why
would
do you want to
ask
make
them
moms
to-
slaves? You know what is really problematic is when we take away rights from certain groups of people and we force them to do things with their bodies that they don't want to. A lot of eugenics was
So,
done that way. A lot of the Nazi concentration camps done that way. In Japan, Unit 343 did a lot of weird things like that, or whatever the fuck, right?
Except in the
So
cases
if
of
you're gonna
sex,
if you're gonna
she's
make the
knowingly
argument that like,
engaged
oh
in
well,
behavior.
viewing people as people sometimes and not as really problematic, then I'll say, okay, well, restricting rights from people, especially women, has also been really problematic historically.
So-
Welcome to women's suffrage. Welcome to women being able to own property. Welcome to women having access to birth control.
Thank
Welcome
you
to
for
women
explaining
being able to
women's
do-
rights
All
to
right, no
us.
problem. I'll do it
That's
since you
okay.
guys have the problem with the
So-
understanding.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but I'm saying I'm not doing that because that's boring to me. Because obviously, if you guys thought that a fetus wasn't a human life, then you would obviously agree with me. And if I agree that a fetus was a human life, I would obviously agree with you. So
Wait,
when
wait,
you
wait. You
use
don't believe
normatively
in
Let him
loaded terms,
finish. Let
This
him
is an
finish.
important point.
when you use normatively loaded terms like murder a child or commit homicide, then all you're doing is you're begging the
You
question.
don't know,
Because
they're not-
obviously,
okay.
nobody at this table and nobody in this room believes in killing children or committing homicide
Okay.
against children.
Except
the
that you're-
question
I have
is,
a question for
when does
Destiny.
it become a child? That's
I
the
have a
whole
question
thing.
for you though,
I-
because you just said when a fetus becomes a human being. When does the fetus become a human being, Dustin?
The personhood comes when conscious experience starts, which is
Okay.
about
But
20 to 24 weeks.
wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Biology says moment of conception, life begins.
Biology does not tell you-
No,
Hold on, wait,
stop,
I'm not-
stop. Excuse me.
Biology does
Excuse
not
me.
tell
I'm
you
just
when
gonna
human
start talking
rights.
to you like I talk to my poor boys. Excuse me.
Can we,
Human
well, hold
life
on,
comes
wait,
into
hold on,
existence at the
Kristen,
moment
Kristen,
it's
Kristen,
existed.
one
I'll let her
sec,
do it.
Kristen,
Go
one
ahead.
sec, one sec. If we can, and you know, there's been some comments about this. I would like everybody here at the table to have an opportunity to speak. So if we can
Everybody,
try to,
including-
including Kiki, yes. So if we can try to limit the interruptions, let people finish their thought, and then, you know, go on. I'd like Destiny to have time to speak. I'd like Lila to have time to speak. Kristen, you as well. Go ahead, Kristen.
Fetus. When does the fetus become a human being? Because biology says, biologists confirm, 96% confirm, that the moment of conception, you became a human being. You became a member of our species. But you kept saying the word, it's not a human being. So when does the
Yeah.
child or entity or whatever term you want to use, it doesn't trigger you in the
Yep.
womb,
Uh-huh.
become a human being? Do you-
20 to 24 weeks.
So you're actually, wait a minute. This is very important because you didn't say this at the beginning of the debate. The beginning of the debate, you were making a moral argument, but you weren't saying that
He
it
just
wasn't a
changed
human
his
being.
position from person
you,
to human being.
this is what Lila and I were exactly, this is what I pointed out like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That you are using an argument saying that it's consciousness, that consciousness gives that human being these special personhood rights not to be killed. But I made the argument a while back that you aren't really making that argument.
Okay, so female Trico. Yeah, it doesn't have this rival foot.